Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw. Okay, so David Stuss, am I saying your last name correctly, Stuss? Or Stuss?
You are indeed.
Okay.
Yeah, well, depends on whether you're back in the old country, but yes.
David Stuss!
Stuss is what we say here in North America.
Okay. So the first photo, first of all, welcome to Shooting It Raw. I appreciate you joining me on this hour-long conversation. We'll see where we end up, but here's the one thing that I think is really funny, or quite telling. We live in a world where we can make photos with our phones very easily. So the mechanics of making great photographs is kind of taken out. So my approach has been, okay, well, what are you doing? What are you doing with your pictures then? And what inspires you to make a photo? So you preface, you sort of say, look, I'm not really a photographer. I'm not really a professional photographer and blah, blah, blah. But then you send me these images and they're stunning. They're really great. Right. And so and that's kind of, it proves the point. It's just, in this case, okay, so you sent me 3 photos and we'll talk about the first one, which is Hatfell.
Hatfell, yeah, it's I guess you would call it an extinct volcano, or it's not, it's not going to come to life again in Iceland.
Oh wow!
In the southern highlands of Iceland.
So the photograph, just so I can describe it, the horizon, which is, you can't clearly see the horizon, but the line is essentially cutting through half of the image. The top half is the sky. So what I love about photographs where there aren't a lot of mountains nearby is that you can see the cloud cover kind of low, and yes. Above that you see the sky with high clouds. So it's like different shades of blue, and then you've got the low clouds, which is gray and white.
Yeah.
The bottom half is this dark soil. There's it's very, very dark. It's almost, in some areas it's black, gray, very arid, so there's not much vegetation on it. And yet right in the middle, cutting the middle of the image, is this beautiful rising, it looks like it's probably about 300 meters or 600 feet tall, and it's got it's very volcanic, but it's got this very subtle new green on it. Yeah, so it's a stunning image. It's stunning. So what does this communicate, and what's the story behind this image? Clearly you're in Iceland.
Yes, yeah. So probably about a decade ago, I had a friend and his partner, a friend from graduate school, and as I had wrapped that up, we just decided to go on a hiking trip in Iceland. I think I can't recall. I think they might have been doing something for either getting married, and it was their month-long honeymoon, and I got to sort of tag along as the third wheel for the first.
Okay, so describe this friend. Good friend, clearly.
Yeah, really good friend. Yeah, just yeah, not that good, but yeah. No, they were lovely people. Good enough to have me tag me along. Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Yeah. So we flew into Reykjavik, and of course Iceland is really small. And they've got these amazing tours you can take. But there's this trail in the Southern Highlands. They have this amazing kind of very well regulated hike system and cabin system where you have to book months in advance. They only let so many people on, and it's only open for I think a few months of the year, maybe half a year at best. And so anyway, we bust in, and I think it was a 6-day hike. And
oh wow!
It was honestly one of the most extraordinary experiences of my life doing this trail. So you're in the Highlands. It's a lot of it is sort of the nature of Iceland. It's sort of this upwelling of where these two continental plates are interacting. So it's it's very active, kind of an elemental landscape. And on this particular hike, I think probably within about an hour of getting off the tour bus, having the backpack and wandering in, I honestly felt like I had entered into some sort of Tolkien-esque landscape. It just felt it's like this. You pass through this veil, and then you were just in this magical other world where I've told many friends this, but I'm sure you probably have heard that Icelanders, for example, believe in elves, which, just sounds like this sort of preposterous thing in a modern age. But honestly, after, an hour into that trail, I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I get
funny.
it. I get it. Why this makes sense to you.
Uh-huh.
And so, I think almost every hour you would sort of cross some sort of hilltop and come across this, just jaw-dropping vista.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this one, Hatfell, was on the third day. And so my experience with this was, it would almost felt like encountering like an old god or something like this. I had sort of wandered off on my own. As you can see, there's nobody else, nearby on the trail. Other hikers would, often be separated by kilometers. You have no real sense of scale in this landscape. So, maybe your height estimate is correct, but it's very difficult because there's nothing near or far. You've got all this volcanic rock. So it's completely barren. And really you get this feeling almost like being on Mars or something like that. Right. So, and then suddenly there's just this solitary, majestic entity, just sort of taking up the horizon with this little trail leading up to it. Yeah, it was truly awe-inspiring.
Did you end up climbing it?
No. I'm not sure if they encourage that or not. But the weather's not always that sympathetic up there. So usually you want to try to make sure you get from cabin to cabin while you've got enough light. And yeah.
Okay, so let's just rewind a little bit. So your friend and you were in graduate school.
Yeah, he was a postdoc. He was a postdoc at the time.
Okay, but in what field? Geology or?
No, in neuroscience, actually.
Oh, okay. And what about you?
Yeah, same. That's what my grad work was in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Well, wait a second. Do you know that Mike? You know the name Michael Sapolsky? He's pretty well regarded.
Down at Stanford. Is it Michael?
Yeah.
The fellow who does the work with primates.
Yes, exactly. And who looks like
is it Mike?
I think it's Michael Sapolsky.
Okay.
But Jennifer Sapolsky? No, it's Michael. But anyway, so I love the fact that we have this intersection. I didn't know that. And whose impulse was it to go to Iceland? If I was imagining you guys were in geology or something. So that was
right. No, they're from the UK. The couple, and they had returned back there.
Okay.
And so by that time, I was finishing up. His postdoc had finished. They had gone back to the UK, and then we're planning this trip. So
okay.
Yeah, it's just something that we were just discussing. They said they were doing it. Would I like to come along? And I just jumped at the chance.
Oh, amazing. So were there places where you hit snow, or it's not quite that time of the year?
Right at the very beginning, you can, like the elevation increases. If you're going from north to south, you can access this sort of 6-day hike from either end. And at the very beginning, there's this really rapid sort of climb to a higher elevation. And there's definitely you're stepping over snow at some parts of it.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
I really like the light and the image, and it's very stark. And so, in a sense, like, okay, so have you had any training at all in visual media or photography?
None whatsoever. This is all entirely. I wouldn't even say self-taught. I just do what I like.
You just go
and sometimes they turn out. Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. Shit. The photos you sent were all great. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one.
Sure.
Okay. So, is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So, if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw.